Good morning, gang. Another sunny day here in Asakusa so far. Rain is coming, I think, this afternoon, not sure. We should be okay for the camera. I didn't cover the camera this morning, but the sky is pretty light, so I think we're okay. 石川さん、先日やった途中、大雨、バーッってカメラがチーッって僕外でビショビショにやった。みんな笑ったよ。It's not Tsugi-san today, it's Ishikawa-san today. She's keeping behind the camera. She's on the other side of the camera. Maybe when we'll say hello or something later. But, she's been off for a couple of weeks and she's here today. She's cutting paper to get ready for it's this year's series. 10月 the October print. I keep saying August. 10月 October print. いろんな人から石川さんおはようとか。
おはようございます。
They're kind of taking turns here. Today she'll be working. I know Dei-chan was here this morning for a test. She'll be back, I don't know, Thursday or something. Sugi-san won't be back now till next week. She's getting her second shot today or something. This week, かな? Konshu.
8日。9月6日。
early next week then. So we're all working hard, but we're also taking it easy. There's no stress here. People are doing it bit by bit by bit. So. Okay, for me, you know where I'm at. It's going to be continuing. I just left it. I just put it in the freezer when I left the other day and brought it out this morning. So we're going to continue printing the cranes. The crane. With Taran-san's blocks, it looks like they're okay. I did a few small adjustments here and there. I don't know if you can see. I cut little bits here and there. Taran-san cut it close to where he thought it was going to be, of course, but we can't always get exactly right. And after test printing, you can see a kind of few places here and there, pop, 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 where it needed to be trimmed a bit. So I did that trimming the other day, and we're now ready to continue. And today's color will be, here's your Japanese test for this morning. Yes, it's red. All I have to do, I have to remember, 40 years ago, what I was thinking about, what I would like to see. Just do the same thing. Fly fish for fun. It doesn't say brush. Karen's got it, so. How about this one then? Karen's got it. She's really doing, not sarcastic, I'm sorry, Karen's doing very well. Yes, it is. It's indeed. It's shoji nori. It's the nori for doing the screens. And you can see there's even instructions on how to do it. Well, Cameron's in. Good morning, Cameron-san. Sashiburi. Taran-san, you're making the same mistake I made. I learned first the pronunciation for this was ko. And I got in real trouble with that in one of the English classes I was teaching. Real trouble with that. That character has lots and lots of pronunciations. Karen's going to pass N2 soon. I haven't got any levels at all. I'm zero educated in Japanese. Zero. But that's not going to be enough. Let's get some more in here. We're going to be using a lot of this morning. Sorry, we'll get this going just bit by bit. Got to get this ready. Sorry. It's got to be just the right balance, you know. Too thick is no good, it sticks the paper. Too thin, it's too watery, you'll get your watermarks in your print. It's got to be just Goldilocks. I don't know how to describe it. For today's job, can we see it? It would pour. You can see there, it's moving inside the cup, but it's not runny. It's kind of like there it is, look, here we are. For today's job, this is just about what it is. How do you describe this, Nick? I know if this had been X years ago, I would be using actual shoe vermilion for this. But we can't get, we can get it, but real vermilion, this much, to put in a cup like this would be well over $50 now. So what we're using for the vermilion color is I took some red, you can see where I mixed it from. Here's the mix. It's the red we call honyoko, cochineal, then a yellow, and together they give us a color that's sort of like vermilion. In the old days, people would have turned up their nose at that. They would have said, that's not vermilion, that's orange. But I said, again, for this much, $50. And then also too, there's another downside. When you use the real vermilion, it really, oxidizes a lot more than a pigment like this. So there's a benefit to this, The color isn't going to be historically accurate, but it's going to be attractive, and the print will last hundreds of years with no changing, So the mask is because I'm not alone. I have a partner today. Ishikawa-san is here printing. People ask me, "Naze mask desu ka?" So. It's not a question of respectful, it's demand on Ishikawa-san. If I didn't have this mask, she would just not be here, she would just go away. Interesting. Ishikawa-sanね、丁寧な考えですねとか書いてあります。丁寧じゃないよ。もう決まりでしょ。なんて言いますか? It's just decided. That's the society. It's decided. I mean, there are young people out there who don't wear the mask. There are some. It's not 100% here in Japan, but it's 99 point whatever. Yeah. There's also the question this morning of doing this color. Shall I do it? It's like we did with the gray a couple of days ago, last week or so. Should I do this light twice, or should I do it strong once? How is COVID in Tokyo? It's difficult. It's bad. It's as bad as it's ever been here. It's bad. We're in the 5th wave. There are people dying daily. There are people dying at home because they can't get in hospitals. The ambulances are overloaded. And we're now moving into that terrible situation where people can't get to normal medical treatments because the hospitals are all jammed up with the other stuff. There's a hair here somewhere. Can't get rid of it. There is an invisible hair. Where is it? I don't know, no, it's a very, very fine, it's one of mine, it'll be from here, absolutely. It's a very, very fine, delicate hair. So I should have a hairband or something. This is silly this morning. So. Okay, let's take some impressions here and see what's going on. If you remember at the end of the gray the other day, the last two sheets, we spoiled the last two because we were testing the different kind of brush. So the first, I've put them on top. So the first two sheets today here are the test sheets. So these will not become sakuhin. So we get a couple of tests here. So as I said, I'm not sure whether to do it once heavily or twice lightly. So let's just put a first coat on and see what it looks like. Oh, we know what this is all about. She's looking okay. We'll be able to do it with one coat, but look at this. It's down here. It should be a bit deeper here, and I don't have any chisels. My chisels are downstairs. No problem. We'll have to wipe. That's all. Remind me then to wipe each one. Okay. Can we then get a bit closer here? Let's see. Let's see if we can get a bit closer. Right. So, lots of the carving. Taran-san's still here now. I shouldn't badmouth, whatever. It needs to be a bit deeper, right here, right at the shoulder. It's this shoulder area that needs to go down. Instead of being, the shoulder is in the way, it needs to get down out of the way. What color are we getting? So here is our fake camera color. Okay, let's run this. Let's run this. What I'll do is I'll need, this is wearing out. This has been used now for 3 different colors or whatever. Let's get a fresh piece. Yeah, I prepped the block. Before we did the first couple of impressions, I put paste on, put color, put paste, put color. The brush was empty, you know. The brush was washed after last time. So things have got to be prepped up here. The noise you hear outside, it's the shutter opening for the bag lady. Why is she opening her shutter now? She doesn't normally open till 10 o'clock. The printers are going to love this one, you know, it's so nice and easy to print. Now that we've got a smooth, clean, new set of blocks with good registration marks, the printers are just going to lap this one up. Taran-san, thanks for your work on this one. It's brought it back into production. That original set of blocks was just totally worn out. I need my chisel as a place here. This also should be cut a bit more. But the grey block's going to be fine, I think. There's no visible marks. Let's try and see. Let's see what it looks like with a second one. Let's see what a double impression looks like here. No real difference, I think. A bit richer, a bit deeper. We're okay with one. Someone's asked me questions. Why can somebody buy only one picture? I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Ah, Cameron, so okay, I'll keep quiet then. Right. shipping to Germany is no problem. We send all kinds of prints. What we have found sometimes is that the package will arrive in Germany or in other European countries. It will sit there in the post office / customs office for a few weeks, and then they return it to us. It seems there's difficulty sometimes in communicating with the customers. The post office gets it. The customer doesn't know it's there. The post office doesn't tell them. And if they haven't followed the tracking, it sits in the post office for a couple of weeks. They send it back to us, and we get it back, and what happened, But other than that, shipping is going through. Europe is okay. Europe is fine. Stuff's getting through. Our camera's been sort of partly off for the past month or so, for a bit of a vacation. So I've been doing the order processing, some of the order processing for the past 3-4 weeks now. So for the first time in years, I'm seeing the whole process from start to finish, and the stuff's getting through. Stuff is indeed getting through. The let's go outside videos to show us. So. It's a combination of circumstances, when I was, how long has it been? It's been a couple of years, so actually, she's off pressing her paper. I can take this off. I should indeed make an effort to do some more let's go outside. I really should. I understand. I know. There's no real reason for it. I think for a while there I had kind of run out of places to go. I had done Sensoji, done this place, done that place. I'd sort of done everything nearby. Of course, that's not enough. You're not done with Tokyo, but and then I just kind of fell out of the habit of doing it. So I really should do some more. I understand. So it is quiet. It's Monday morning. It was quite busy here over the weekend. And perhaps the population is sort of getting the idea to stay home. The numbers now are growing, and the news is finally, people are getting the idea that this is serious here. So there's another bit of a reason why I didn't do some of those outside things recently. There's lots of people in Tokyo now doing this. Foreigners living in Tokyo, they do the YouTube thing. They walk around town, they look at stuff, they explain stuff. It's become a real genre, and I didn't want to become one of those guys, you know. But yeah, point taken, I should do. At the moment, it's not so much the going outside part, it's getting the video done. I'm late now. The next video, I've got 2 more in planning, 3 more in planning, but getting the time to do them, you know. The stamps, don't talk to me about the stamps. My God, that's such trouble now. I guess those of you who read the Patreon update yesterday, I mentioned that in there, you know. We fought with the post office so hard about that, you know. There's so much trouble. What's the point of having beautiful postage stamps if you're not allowed to use them on your packages? You know, come on. Nothing about this we can do. So I brushed pigment on it, I pulled and I can put the paper back down on the block. This is something when you're doing demonstrations or whatever, talking, people go, what, you can't do this, you just destroyed your print. I've done nothing. You can put the paper right back on the wood and nothing happens. There's nothing left there. The top of that wood, this part, there's nothing left. The pigment got completely and totally, I'm trying to get a reflection, there's no reflection from this area because the pigment is all gone. It's of course still down in the bottom, but the pigment on top is completely and totally now removed and into the paper. Yeah, Karen's got it. It's the move to the digital requirements. You know, America wants all the information. Before a package is allowed to go onto an airplane, all the information has to be completely transmitted already in digital form. So what we do is we have an account with the post office. Our software talks to the post office software and back and forth. And it's all tied in with the billing. We don't pay at the counter, and we're not allowed to pay by using postage stamps. Postage stamps are just a method of paying the post office. When you put a stamp on an envelope, it's a method of paying the post office for the transportation. And now that it's all electronic, our computer talks to their computer, and the payment is made electronically as well. So stamps, there's no way to put stamps on. We've tried to go around their system, and no. Do the blocks get washed? Well, yes and no, yes and no, yes and no. I know the gray block I used the other day. Whereas I didn't wash it. I just put it behind me, and this was the block at the end of that gray printing. And there's so little amount of pigment on it, there's nothing really to wash off. The one we have here today, it should get a quick rinse. After we're done today, there will be pigment built up around the edge of this sun, and that should get rinsed off. Koringami's got an interesting question. Hang on one sec. Press ですか、石川さん？
違います。
そう、だから数りか。Korigami, super perceptive question. He's asking, why do I put the paste, for the most part, I don't always do this, but why do we put it down in there? I did put a bit up on top. If you persistently and consistently, I did this all the time when I was younger because I didn't have any idea. If you take your pigment and put it, for example, on one of the printing areas like this here, and if you do it in the same place each time, same place each time, same place each time, what happens is it sinks in, and the wood in that place where you put your pigment just gets saturated right there, that one spot, and you start getting richer, deeper spots in your print. The color won't be a smooth color, it'll show spots in those places where you have consistently put the pigment on and on and on and on and on. So quite often you'll see it, this is too small, I don't have it, but you'd get something like if you've got a block from a printer that's used, you will see a splotchy area way out here where they put the pigment there, pick it up with the brush and then rub it over the printing area. I don't have an example of this in front of me right now, but that's really, really common. You want to avoid splashing pigment onto an area that will print, unless you do it different each time, in which case you're sort of okay. Somebody heard karazuri. You did indeed hear karazuri. When you see the October print, the rabid rabbits, it has tons of karazuri. Rabid rabbits ね。石川さん、日本語でどう犬とか犬が変になりますとか口から泡が出て人が噛むと人が亡くなりますでしょ。その病。
狂犬病。
何？
狂犬病。
狂犬病。
狂う犬。
OK。
病気。
じゃあ英語でrabies。というそう。でも彼の犬がa rabid dog。 rabid というウサギもなりますね。
あ、そう。
そうウサギもなります。
知らなかった。
そうだから今回の作品ウサギが目は変ですから僕今説明して rabid rabbits ウサギはこの病
ああそうかあ、そう初めて聞いた。
日本にあまりないでしょ。
ウサギ聞いたことない。
でも犬は、
狂犬病、あ、今はね。
Showing off to show beautiful, smooth, clean. How does it work? To get that beautiful, rich impression on one shot, you need 3 or 4 things to be happening at the same time. The paper moisture has to be perfect. And I don't know, what can I say? The paper is moist. The example we use all the time is if this shirt had been in the washing machine, you wash it, you spin it, and you spin, zzz, and then when you pull that shirt out of the washing machine, ready for hanging it, that's the moisture level that we're feeling on this paper. どうやって口で説明すると難しいんでしょでもこの話は悪いで今何洗濯機からすすぎ終わったシャツをこの気持ち
その気持ちよくわからない。
But the key is you don't think about the paper as being wet. You got to think about it as being soft. If I touch this paper now, soft. If I felt it's wet, and that if I felt that if I squeezed the paper, drops would come out, that's too much water. So the paper's got to be soft, soft, soft. Another key point is the brush. This is soft. If you could put makeup on with this thing. And then the density here. This is pretty thick. Look, this is not going to run. I could turn this thing upside down. Nothing watery here. Nothing watery. It's what's the word? I don't know. You can see it. What can I say? It's kind of a paste. It's not sticky in any sense at all, and it doesn't pour. Now the block's dry. I'm sorry, just a sec. Let me touch it up because I haven't touched it now. Let's restore the moisture. Viscous. I don't think I'd use the word viscous. Viscous is sort of slimy and sticky, and it has sort of a sticky feel. I wouldn't use the word viscous. It's really smooth. It's just like the kind of cream that if you were a woman, you'd rub it all over your face or something. Yeah, 今の質問ですが、なぜ1回だけでこんなに氷になりますね。1回だけでバーンと。
あ、それでその説明。
そう。で今の示し具合は第一、ハケの柔らかさと絵の具の濃さ、水なし、水は毒。これ以外、まあバランですね。そう。And the other part of the recipe, of course, it's the baron. I mean, this is a real baron. It's got teeth. It digs. If I had one of those cardboard $40 barons, there's no way I could do this. And also, I'm not just rubbing. I hit here. I took it off, and I could see there was a light spot, so I put it back and did it. I'm covering every centimeter of this thing. I'm not just rubbing random round and around and around. The backing paper today, it's not because of the oil here. It's because of we talked about this the other day. This skin is on its last legs. Look at this. It's got a piece of tape on. It's on its absolute last legs, and I cannot use this on the back of the paper directly. It will tear the paper. It also doesn't need much to show. That was a live stream from downstairs on the second floor, not the first floor. To be picky. Well, Dave, throw the Baron in the trash. The Baron is going to get recovered. The Baron itself is just fine. We're going to. It gets a new skin. It's going to get recovered. we missed a chance the other day. You know, we were here Saturday, right? Was it Saturday or Thursday? Suga-san was next to me. That must have been Saturday or something. She was chatting. We came to the end of the stream. I did the gray, did a show and tell, wrapped it all up. Suga-san then gets out her tools and she recovers 2 of her barons. I was thinking to restart the stream, but she asked me no, because it's kind of stressful to whatever. So she did 2 of them. And honestly speaking, you're not going to see anything anyway. Just her hands are like this, tying, and you don't really get a chance to see anything. But I was like, why didn't you tell me that's what you're going to do? The gray was okay to show. The gray we did the other day. There's a tiny faint mark if you're going to get picky, but we're okay. We're well within parameters. It's a nice, clean, smooth gray. This is going to be a very nice reissue of this print. It's going to be our gift print for this year. Not the New Year's card print. This is going to be the gift print that people buy to give as Christmas gifts, you know.すりやすくなりましたよ。前は剣と厳しくてとかもう合わなかったね。そうだ、タラン君と飛鳥先生の力でもうすりやすくなりましたよ。前はみんなもう嫌になったんですから、そう。嫌だった。ものの今簡単で一番お金がポケに入りやすい。あ、そうなの？でしょ？すりの数が何 1,2,3,4,5,6 かな。そうこの太陽が一番難しい。まあきれいにきれいにすればでも薄く2回でもいいよ、今1回だけですが薄くでもいやだからさっきの示し具合は OK ですね。と絵の具ドロドロな感じみたい。そうですね、ドロドロという、I don't know、今この人たちと話したんですけど、どの言葉か。リッチな感じで。だからこれ。逆さまでも全然、いやおお、すごいな、手肉みたいだね。ハンコの。あ、そう、そんなんでやるの。だからこの方。すごいね。のりキャッキャッ。このもの、これだけ。そうすると問題はたまりでしょ、ですがハケは丁寧に、と軽くあんまりゴシゴシじゃない、とハケ筋を、軽く音が聞こえないように、とちょっとこれから掘りますがしょうがないですけど、このものがあったり、そうするとOK ですね。示し具合がソフト。今このひどい状態ですから。She's laughing at me. といつもデイビッドのやり方でしょ。小さな丸。これ丸足りない。この糸の心配は広いところも狭いところもありますけど、力入れすぎとすごい危ないです。そうするとおお、手肉みたい。うわ、ちょっとすいませんね。おお Louder, louder. They can't hear it. Well, it's just a combination. All those things combined.
はい。
でも本当にちょっと今ちょっと入れすぎですね。そう。
すごいね、すごいね。
But now that we've stopped and looked at this, we have a problem actually. 石川さん didn't even notice. これ不要品です、石川さん。不要品です。
点々がついてるから。
だからごめん、タランさん申し訳ないんですが。
あ、サインか。
これ。
はいはいはい、そうそうそう、さっき見たよ。そうそうそうそうそう。もったいない、綺麗。
We've got to carve a bit deeper.
そう。本当、ここまでは投げてくるよね。
So it's got to go a bit deeper. It's the dangerous points. It's the shoulders. It's all the carvers. I'm lucky in this because I was from the beginning. I carved and printed. で、第一から、初めの日から僕掘って、Oh my God! だ両方やる人。
そう。
でもスリが、the people who don't do any printing, so we've got junk here. This has to get thrown away.
本当に綺麗にすれてる。
So.
嬉しいね。投げてくる。
So, no question, I got to get my knife. How far back? Just one back. We just see it. I've been watching the show. How far back? The last 100 prints. No. How many have I got left? There's only 2 left. Can I wipe? No, what time is it? It's 8:50, okay. I gotta go get my knife here. Hang on a sec. I'll be back in 2 minutes or so. Now, should we put the other camera up for a minute? I gotta head downstairs to the first floor to grab a knife. I'll be back in a minute. Shoo! Down, down. Shoot, shoot. A knife bending machine. No, I need some water. Just a minute here. I got my knives. Excuse me. Oh yeah, yeah. だからいいよ。There would be a knife fender on the corner. It was almost like that, you know. It was almost like that. In fact, actually, that reminds you, there's bad news. The last sharpening stone, Toishiya, has gone. Did you see, Ishikawa-san? 田原町にある砥石屋。砥石を売る店はもう看板今。だから今
今までだってなかったよね。
だからそうじいちゃんが数十万なくなったみたいですが、今営業やってないんですが、先日僕は田原町郵便局行った時に中は内装が始まったんですよ。
ああ、そう。
だからなんかコンビニかなんかわからない。どれになるかわからない。
嫌なおじさんだったな。
フレンドリーじゃないですね。でも僕紹介やったんです。伊藤さんが電話して紹介したんです。
あ、だからだよ。
僕は後にそうフレンドリーじゃない。でもひどい経験あった？
浅香先生と言った。そしたら浅香先生が素人に分かるかって言われてた。
そっか。でもいつ亡くなったかな。だから今ずっと
もうずっとなかったよね。
だから今亡くなったかな。だから今もう。
ああ、今
まだ生きてる間に動くなかったかなとか。
そうだね。
Sorry, ignore you guys. Excuse me. Zoom. Can I zoom? I don't know. There's really nothing to see here. Hi. Okay. Where are we? There's a few places here. God, it would help if I could see. Ignoring the chat, sorry guys. Then there was one at the bottom somewhere, wasn't there? Hang on a second here. Okay, I sort of think that's okay. I know what I will do now, after I'm done here today with this one, I'll take it back downstairs and I'll go over the whole thing. Just as you make, we're going to make these in large batches. The girls will be printing these in like 100 or 150 at a time. And when you print too many prints at once, or a lot of prints at once, that's what we say, the pigment starts to build up all over the place. The pigment comes up and up and up and up and up and up, and it starts to touch the paper. So we've got to cut these down a bit more. They've got to go down. And Taran-san, I'm not insulting Taran-san. He's fine. It's okay. It's a question of experience. I know they just need to go a little bit down at the shoulder point. Now, Taran's fine. The lines are fine. The outside is fine. It's that one point right there. These shoulders have to be sunk. You've got to make sloped shoulders. Look at this. There you are. This is bad carving. This is what we want. I don't know. There's just 2 sheets left here. What time is it? 9:04. The other thing too is I'm sure that when Taran-san was testing this, you know, he carved it, put some pigment on, tried it, looks okay. And it always looks okay with one, you know, impression. But when you're doing 20 and 40 and 60 and the pigment builds up, then it's different. You know. Also the softer paper. Me too, we do the same thing. When we're testing the carving, we'll do this. We'll get the carving, get your carving, blah, 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 rub some pigment on it, just whatever. Then take a quick impression on something like this. And you can take an impression on something like copy paper, and this is calendared flat paper. So this paper doesn't go down into the middle at all. So it always looks sharp and clean on copy paper. But the paper we're using, the washi paper, is thick and fluffy, and as you push it, it goes over the edges of those cut areas. It goes down deeper. I think we're clear. Someone's asking about, there was a red dot there just above the crane's head. That wasn't on a block, that was a blob of pigment. There was a little, well, I can't see it now, hang on a second, let me print this and I'll show you. The previous one, somebody's asking, somebody. John is asking. The previous one had a dot right here. That wasn't from, where am I? Here. That wasn't from the block, that was from a bit of, I don't know, paste just there. I didn't wipe carefully enough and get it off. That's not a block problem, that's a printer problem. That's a printer. So here, the block is okay, but absolutely not. Before we put this into production, I mean, this is why I'm doing this sort of miniature test run here, to see that these blocks are really cool for production. So before we put this into production, before it goes to Suga-san and Ishikawa-san, whoever next week, this is going down onto my bench, because the last thing you want is you want these things to start to come up in the middle of a printing run. So it's going to go down on my bench, and we're going to go through this, and I will cut away the shoulders on all of these areas. And then this part too. Okay, that's the last sheet of paper there. Switch to the next block. Yeah, the very first blot we had here on the very first print was at the bottom here. And you noticed, you didn't see me wiping at the bottom here after that, because as it turns out, all the subsequent impressions I didn't rub pigment down in this area. Look at this, I'm putting pigment onto the circle, spreading it out around the circle, going here, and I'm not actually putting any pigment down here. So I didn't need to wipe off the bottom part because I was hip to that. The one up here, I can't really avoid that. In the last process of wiping things off here, inevitably, I do get some pigment up in this corner. So this zone here too, this should be carved down. Just one more scoop. This area would be scooped away and then we'd be good to go. So the block is fine, it just needs a couple more small touch-ups. Before it's ready for the gang. Okay, for the next color, which is something we'll be doing on the next block. Yeah, and I'm just warming it up. There is a show and tell. Hi. Oh, soka. Soka. 9:16. I thought it was about 9:10. Okay, all right. Pause. You talked me out of it. Hi. I was going to get the next one warmed up, but okay, we'll save it for next time then. We'll save it. Okay. Hi. Don't panic. Where were we? We're working our way through this little black book. One of Dave's hundreds of little black books. Where did we get to? We're almost at the end. We've been here. Okay, this last couple. This is totally different prints. Let's see. Let's have a look at this one first. See if we get to this one. What we've got here is, this is a type of Meiji era, late Meiji era, small surimono print. It's a series that was published. It's done together with the, I think they were done together with the Kobe Akashi prints. They're carved and printed in almost exactly the same fashion. We usually see them in small shikishi format. This one's quite a bit larger. And what we've got, I'm going to need some help here on the background on this. This is kabuki. And maybe some of you know who this character is. Where's my little, I put a date on this one here. So we have the character here who in kabuki is known as kuzu no ha. And it's nominally a person, but as you can see by the mask on the back of the kabuki dancer here, this is a, what do you call it? It's one of those places where the animal changes into human shape and the human changes into animal shape. And Kuzunoha is the character in this kabuki story, which comes through into and out of the story in fox shape, kitsune. And the thing we have here, I didn't know what this was until I looked it up years and years ago. I thought this was supposed to represent a mouse trap of some kind, that it has caught a mouse. And no, it's the other way around. What they do, or did in the old days, whatever, this was something maybe farmers did, I don't know, or if it's all mythological or whatever. They catch a mouse first, don't kill it, hang it up in this little frame deal, and the mouse is wriggling and trying to escape, and you put this out in your farm area, whatever, and this is a fox trap. It doesn't actually trap the fox. It brings the fox in. It's bait. It's fox bait. And then presumably when the fox gets close, then you whatever, you attack it or kill it or scare it off or whatever. And in the kabuki story, this creature, half human, half fox, whatever, I don't know the whole plot, but the point is at some point they're trying to attract or get this creature in, so these fox traps are all over the place. And this is apparently the point in the story where the fox creature has turned back into a human, and the human is now looking at this thing and saying, sorry guys, this isn't going to work on me, you'll have to think of something better than that. So I don't know, whatever. But yes, it's a fox trap. And we see this in lots of kabuki prints, and it's always the same character. It's not always with the fox at the back, it's usually just as a person. They've always got the stick, and I don't know the dance story, but they place the stick behind their head to make a certain number of steps in the dance. And we've got these same symbols we see all the time, right? The lucky clover, the raincoat that brings invisibility, the hammer, the magic hammer that brings money, all these famous standardized lucky symbols. Anyway, just another print. This is an older design. It's Tori Kiyonobu. The design is from way back when, 1700s or something, but this is a Meiji copy. Somebody just copied the design, put it into put on wood blocks and just made a print from it, same as I do. Then in what is no connection whatsoever, these things are in this folio just because they're the similar sizes, we have something completely different. And this would be the second or third woodblock print Dave ever bought. And here it is. It's just hidden in the back of one of these folios. And this is one of the things that really caught my attention here. And this would have been, as I said, it's probably not the first print I bought. I bought a couple from Adachi. This would be 1979 or so. I was visiting Japan. We were visiting Japan, before I moved here, visiting Japan with the music store. We came to buy flutes. We were buying flutes from the Iwao Flute Company in Nippori. And Dave was a little bit interested in Japanese prints, so he poked around a little bit. And I went to visit the Yoshida people. I went and knocked on the door. I had the address. I found it somewhere. I was interested in their stuff. I was interested in, could I ask and see if I could ever come and study with them in the future, whatever. I knocked on the door and Toshiyoshi's wife let me in, come upstairs, and she showed me a bunch of their stuff. And I bought 2 prints from them that day. And this is while Toshi was still alive, so these are prints that are actually the real pencil signature. And it would have been made by Komatsu-san downstairs, and I never had a chance to go downstairs and see him. And this is, what's the original? The original date is Showa 14. Showa 14, I'm 26. It's 12 years before my birth, but this is 1939. So the print would have been designed in 1939 when Toshi was still quite young. And it was made, of course, by his craftsman downstairs. And we get requests for this one all the time, but they are not currently reprinting it. And I don't know why. But if you're looking for evidence of the kind of stuff that caught Dave's eye when he was first getting involved in this, this is an example of it. This is one of the ones that I said, I want that. I want to take it home. Light. In the ukiyo-e prints, it's about the line. And in the Shinhanga print, this is about the light. John's asking, metal key block. I don't know, and I don't have my scope with me. I don't know, Johnson. I don't know. It could go either way. This could be a metal key block. It could be a wooden block. I don't know. If I was guessing, I'd guess metal. But I don't 100% know. Someone's asking about the water. How do they make the water look like this? This is simply layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer. I have no idea how many layers are in this print. Dozens and dozens. The sky itself is done 1, 2, 3 impressions at least. The water is, I have no idea. And the Yoshidas painted onto their blocks. They would take a single block under here and they would paint on different parts of it, different colors. What I wanted to do to show you this was I wanted to go down to the shop and bring you the current version, the one that we actually have in stock sometimes, the one that they're reprinting. I wanted to compare side by side the pencil version and the one that they're making now. There really isn't a whole lot of difference, but I don't have one. Anyway, for me, this print is more sentimental value than anything else right now. It's just one of the first prints that I ever bought. And I'm kind of happy about one thing. I bought different stuff. I bought ukiyo-e from Adachi, and I bought this from Yoshida. So I wasn't a single interest. We might be at the end of the thing here now. Oh, okay, just one more then. Before we wrap this up, one more. We've seen these before. Remember, you've seen these before. We've just got the last two here today. These are the prints from the Meiji era that were designed to be samples for kids in the classroom. This is a woodblock print made after a painting and placed in classrooms all across the school in the Meiji era. It's a tehon, so somebody's got the message here, it's a tehon. The original would have been a watercolor painting. They reproduced it in woodblock so that every classroom and every kid could have a copy to read from, to see from. The kids were making prints, the kids were making paintings. But they didn't have the ability to make offset reproductions of the paintings, so the woodblock printers reproduced the painting. Look at this, let me show. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Atenashi Bokashi again. The stem here is done in one long wood block, and then they print it in gray first, and then come back and blob, 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 blob. Put a gradation in. Here too, a gradation down the thing and a gradation at the tip. This one to me is not so attractive. Well, what would be the difference, Nick? This one I think is really interesting, really attractive, really touching, really heartwarming. This one for me, I wouldn't even look twice at this. We got them as a group, so I've got it here. But for me, it's just not even nowhere near as interesting. Yet it's almost exactly the same thing. A bird done in shades of gray and green. But this one, not interesting for me at all. I don't know why. The drawing is clumsy, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I would never bother reproducing this. Little gradations here. So we've come through the book to show. We've got lots more of these books downstairs. I've also got things ordered this week that should be coming in that will be useful for show and tell next week. It's been quite a journey going through this little volume. Get the quite a journey. We saw some masterpieces in here. I think my favorite from the whole book, though, was probably this one. This was absolutely my favorite from the whole book. Okay, anyway, a little close, a little quiet end to the thing here today. Today's Monday morning. I've now got a difficult few days in front of me here. About half an hour from now, the accountant is coming for a visit. Our year-end taxes are due. We're now overdue. I'm overdue by 2 weeks. I called the tax people the other day, last week, and they said, don't worry about it, just get it ready when you're ready. But the tax guy's coming here this morning, and he and I are going to wrestle, probably for the rest of the day, on trying to get the year-end bookkeeping tied up and wrapped up. That's about that. Okay. Thanks very much, guys. I'll be off here now for a couple of days. I'll see you on Thursday morning. I'm not sure what I'll be doing. Printing, I guess. Getting some more work done on the printing. Look at the patrolmen out there. This is because of the Olympics. The Olympics are still on, and the patrolmen are out there in pairs all over the whole city. Nothing is happening, of course, but that's their business, just to be on standby. Okay, thanks for now. See you later. See you on Thursday. Bye for now.